Good evening and thanks for joining us for 23 ABC News at 6. I'm Josh Sanders. Tonight's top stories. A Christmas miracle for a local family. More on how several local organizations coming together to give one local veteran a new home. And one of the people convicted in the death of an 81-year-old in 2010 now released. The details on why Katia Nash is now free. 23 ABC News at 6 starts right now.
Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 6 starts now.
And we begin tonight with a look at weather out there as the west and east coast both being pounded by these holiday storms. You can see that rainfall right now here in Bakersfield, and it's this system that's moving through the Pacific Northwest. That's what's bringing us rain and snow when it comes to our mountain communities. We're going to be continuing to track that storm system, but you can see 50 degrees out there right now with a 10-degree difference and wind speeds out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour. You can see those winds that we're dealing with over the weekend. They have died down, still seeing double digits in Bakersfield, but throughout the county, mostly in those single digits. Those upper 40s, low 50s for our valley floor, low 40s for the Kern River Valley right now, 28 in Fraser Park and 44 in Ridgecrest. The National Weather Service issuing a winter weather advisory that's going to expire tonight at 10 p.m. as we continue to track these major storm systems from the west to the east coast. We'll have more coming up. A family's Christmas was made this afternoon as several organizations came together to give a local veteran a new home. 23 ABC's Austin Westfall was there as crews moved her in. He joins us now in studio. Austin.
Robin Silva says she's had it rough lately. She and her children haven't had a permanent home in 9 years. And as you can tell by these pictures, today meant a lot to them.
I'm just so worried about putting a roof over our head. And it's just like I'm always working like 3 jobs and I'm still struggling. Like we never have furniture. Thank you, baby.
Robin Silva was in the Marine Corps 9 years ago, but ever since, she says she struggled to have a roof over her family's head. She most recently lived in a motel with her 3 young children.
I had asked, "Do you have a Christmas tree?" And she sent me a picture of a lamp in a hotel room that they had decorated to be their Christmas tree.
And after seeing that, Lily Marsh, who works with local veterans, knew that the community could come together to help the Silva family have a Merry Christmas. After a few texts were sent, Monday's move-in day was put in motion, complete with a new home, furniture, Christmas presents, and of course, a nice big Christmas tree.
I've never been able to afford any furniture, and this is more than a blessing. They have a couch, everything.
The home was already being provided by the California Veterans Assistance Foundation. The rest was either donated or arranged by Kern County CityServe, Earners, Furniture City, the Mission at Kern County, Representative Kevin McCarthy and his wife Judy, State Senator Shannon Grove, and Mayor Karen Go. Silva is from North Carolina and says she had a tough time keeping jobs because she has to stay home with her kids.
But it's like I've been carrying them with me from East Coast to West Coast with no babysitter, and I keep losing jobs. I keep being homeless, going through the homeless shelter.
Thankfully this Christmas, being homeless will be the least of this family's worries.
They're really good kids, and we don't have like a normal family, so it's like I try really hard for them. Like this is just like, thank you guys, this is why I'm alive.
Now Silva says she and her kids all love to cook, which has been a problem since they haven't had a place to cook until now. So they're going to spend Christmas making food and enjoying their new home. For now in the Live Center, Austin Westfall, 23 ABC, connecting you.
Great story there, Austin. New developments tonight. Katia Nash is a free woman. According to the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, Nash, who was sentenced to life in prison in connection with the death of an 81-year-old woman, was released from custody last Thursday, December 19th. 15 years old at that time of the killing of Dorothy Session, Nash, who is now 25, is benefiting from changes in state law regarding minors to be charged with crimes. One new law that took an effect this year, ultimately leading to Nash's release. Under SB 1391, anyone 15 or younger cannot be transferred to adult court for any crime, that's including murder. An appellate court ruled the law retroactively applied to Nash, preventing her case from ever returning to adult court. On April 14, 2010, Nash and David Moses entered Dorothy Sessions' house with the intent to burglarize it. Nash's sister Angelique stayed outside as a lookout. Upon finding Session at home, Moses beat her. He and the Nashes then ran from the neighborhood, leaving Session bleeding on the floor, where she later died. Angelique is now 26 and is currently serving 25 years to life at a Central California women's facility. Moses, now 27, has a status conference in Kern County Superior Court on January 8th. He's also serving 25 years to life in prison. Now to a crime alert out in Delano. Kern Valley State Prison officials are investigating the attempted murder of a peace officer. That's according to prison officials. 4 correctional officers were injured during this attack by an inmate. Officials with the Kern Valley State Prison say the attack occurred this past Saturday, December 21st in Facility B. According to their release, just before 8 a.m., correctional officers conducted a search of inmate Elrather Browning. Browning quickly produced an inmate-made weapon and began stabbing at the staff. Officers gave orders for Browning to stop, but he ignored their orders and continued his attack. Staff used physical force to eventually stop him and confiscate the weapon, but the officers suffered injuries and were transported to an outside hospital for treatment. One officer had a puncture wound to his face with a laceration on his neck. A second suffered a fractured wrist, a third sprained knee, and a fourth a sprained wrist. All 4 now are recovering. For the 7th year in a row, Kohls is offering 24-hour shopping leading up to the Christmas holiday. Most locations will be open until 6 p.m. Christmas Eve to help those last-minute shoppers get cross everything off their list. For those who prefer to shop online, Kohls is offering free in-store pickup within 2 hours on most eligible purchases made on Kohls.com and the Kohls mobile app through Christmas Eve. During this busy holiday travel season, the CHP will begin a maximum enforcement period tomorrow night. This year's Christmas enforcement begins at 6 p.m. tomorrow, which is Christmas Eve, and will end 11:59 p.m. on Christmas Day. During that time, all available officers will be on the road to help assist drivers. Get buses will not operate on Christmas Day, and their administrative office will also be closed for the holiday. But on New Year's Eve, Get Bus will provide free services from 6 to 11 p.m. Buses will operate on a holiday schedule on New Year's Day. For more information, you can head to our website at turnto23.com. As it's getting closer and closer to the Christmas holiday, it's almost time to celebrate Kwanzaa. Several local organizations are teaming up to host the dazzling Kwanzaa Celebration. This theme of the festive event is celebrating, building, and strengthening family, community, and cultural bonds. It's scheduled for this Friday, December 27th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the MLK Community Center on South Owens Street. Do you have a plan with what to do with that leftover holiday oil and cooking grease? Well, don't put it down your drain. There's a collection event happening throughout this month where you can get rid of it and do that safely. Officials are asking you to put any leftover oil and grease into a sealed container and take it to the Bakersfield wastewater treatment plant on McCutcheon Road off of Ash in southwest Bakersfield. City officials are partnering with the North of the River to offer a second drop-off location at the NOR Sanitation District's main office on Universe Avenue off of Northchester and the Oildale. The collecting will run through the end of this week, ending on Friday, January 10th. The average price of the pump has dipped 4 cents in the last 2 weeks, but experts are saying that that's not going to last. Gas prices are expected to go back up as retailers across the country face higher costs. At this time last year, the average price of gas was 18 cents cheaper. Right now, the highest average is in San Diego at $3.62 a gallon. And the lowest, well, that's in Houston, $2.14 a gallon. According to GasBuddy.com, the cheapest gas in Bakersfield is $3.25. That's at Larson's Food and Gas on Weibel Road. Ford is recalling more than 600,000 cars to fix a hydraulic defect that could lead to crashes. That's what officials are saying. The recall covers certain versions of the 2006 and 2010 Ford Fusion, Mercury Milan, and the Lincoln MKZ. The automaker says it's identified at least 15 accidents that have occurred or may have occurred because of the defect. Those crashes caused at least 2 injuries. Coming up, job seekers, we have some good news for you. Details on how you can apply at Taft College and what they're looking for in their candidates. Carrie.
Coming up in sports, we had a recent state championship team win another state title, and these guys are in the house because the Eagles.
Welcome back to 23 ABC Sports. We watched the Bakersfield Christian Eagles football team celebrate their state championship with the school and the community last week. Well, guess what? That team is here in-house with sports director Katia right next door to us to talk about that historic win and what the first football state title has meant to all of them. Carrie, what's it like?
Hey, Josh. So I'm feeling the state championship vibes. We like to do this, but I don't think that we've brought this many guys in here before. But the Bakersfield Christian Eagles, they finally were able to get it done and bring the state title back 2 Saturdays ago. And we are happy to have them here. But we want to tell you how these Eagles got here. So we're going to take you back up to Roanoke Park. 5+ hours for the trip for that state championship game against the Rancho Cotati Cougars. And this team was all prepared for this one, but it was a bit of a slow start in the first half. And with that one goal in mind, they bounced off in the third quarter. This is Jess Wattenbarger with a touchdown here. 4 unanswered touchdowns from the Eagles. And then, guys, it just kept on rolling. Defense would take care of it. Here's a tipped pass. Ben Urosic's 3rd touchdown on the night. Of course, this team, they just found momentum and never let up to go on to win 42-21. And that's what they wanted to do. Gatorade Bath head coach Darren Carr, they've been there before in 2016, but they finally got it done and finally got to hoist the state championship trophy. Pretty cool moment, and that is what we love to see. So I had to bring the team in to talk to them, and again, hopefully the state championship vibes rub off on me, guys, if you want to tell me how to do that. But of course, we have the full team here. I'm going to start with the leader of the squad. That would be head coach Darren Carr. So Coach Carr, just you've had some time to reflect on this. Really, how does this stand out to you in your mind of what this group was able to do this entire season?
It was pretty incredible. You know, it's you're playing games all the way up until Christmas. You know, I just went Christmas shopping with my wife today, so that's how in the zone we were. You know what I mean? So just thrilled to do it with these guys. It was.